All right, so I'm going to cover what we did today in adding explosions, where we wrapped it up. At the moment, when we hit our go key and we shoot one of the enemies, um, the circles expand and they don't stop. Well, we're going to stop that now. Let's jump all the way down to the explode function. Here we go. We've just set these circles up to explode, and we've increased our circle radius. So what we need to check for here is we need to find that point in time where these circles get as big as we want to let them get. So here we're looking at the circle radius. I want to see if that is trying to be bigger than the circle radius limit. If the circle radius has grown to be bigger than the circle radius limit, then we want the start exploding variable to be set to false. Setting that variable to false, start exploding. It's what lets us get inside of this if statement to do all this stuff, to remove the circles, put down circles, increase the size of the circle radius. Once that after we've increased that so many times, we're going to get to the point where we hit the limit. So we want to start exploding to false. That's going to cause the next time through for this to come up as false. This won't be true. So the if will be false. So the code will automatically default to whatever is inside the else. The else is going to take over. It's going to be when the circles have reached their maximum radius. Time to get smaller. That's what's going to be going on right here. So the first thing we need to do is we need to remove any circles that are already on the screen. And the good news for all of the code I'm going to do here, it's a lot of copying and pasting. I'm going to go grab those lines of code from the if to its closing curly brace. Copy it, come back down here, and I'm going to completely replace that if. That whole if, I'm going to delete it. Where the comment says remove the previous circles, if it exists, I'm going to paste it right there. Then, this whole thing about putting down the 3 circles that form the explosion. Well, we already have that, starting right there with circle 1 and ending with adding circle 3. Copy all 3 of those blocks of code and come down here and paste them again. Taking out those extra lines I don't need to have there. So that was easy. So we're halfway done. Next thing we need to do is we need to make our radius of our circles a little smaller for the next frame. And we already have a bit of code that will do kind of that. Here, we're making the circle radius a little bit bigger, but it's got everything I need. What am I going to have to change if I want to make my circle radius a little bit smaller? Hopefully you're thinking, well, I better change that addition to subtraction. So now every time as we go in through the else statement, as we pass through this else is going to be taking over. It's going to be doing all the work now. Removing the previous circles, putting down new circles, checking to see if we reach the limit. Are we at the point where making our circles smaller? Making our circles smaller. Then we check to see here if we've hit our limit. If the size of our circle's radius reaches the lower limit, remove the 3 circles and set each to null. Also, stop the explode timer from calling the explode function. All of those repairs are in the next starter code. So what we're looking for here now is if our circle radius is trying to be less than our circle radius lower limit. If our circle radius is trying to be smaller than our circle radius lower limit, we got some stuff we need to do. We need to remove the 3 circles. I've already got code that does that right there. But to clean this up, I'm going to copy those 3 lines. The remove, circle 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to paste them down here. But when I paste them, you're going to notice that There's like an indentation problem, but it's easy to fix if you just put your mouse in there and hit the backspace key one time. You can clean that up and make your code look beautiful. Next, I want to set circle 1 to null, and then I'm going to copy that and paste it. And I'm going to change circle 1 there to 2 and circle 1 to 3. So this is going to be setting the 3 circles to null. Each circle gets set to null. Circle 1 to null, circle 2 to null, circle 3 to null. Lastly, we're going to stop they complained about my silly spelling, explosion timer. And to do that, that's a stop timer to the explode function. And that wraps up the code for this stage. When we're flying and we're firing, let me give myself my whole playing space. There we go. Oops, I died. That's all there was to it. A lot of copying and pasting and recycling of code. Took care of all the things we needed to take care of here. And we'll see you in class. And that's the wrap up.